hello and welcome to Sachin, our very special presentation from the World Cup with the legend, the master, the champion. Rained off, but India wouldn't mind. What do you think? 1 point, a curtailed game is bad. At least this is better than a curtailed game.
The way we were playing, I would have liked to have another match there. You know, we've travelled all the way from India to play cricket here, not to sit in the dressing room. Yes, it has worked out well, 1 point each. But you know, when we are looking at 2 points. Come on, guys, we are looking at 2 points.
You come here every year. Is this normal? I mean, for a whole week it doesn't rain like this. It's a little kind of an aberration.
I have experienced this on a number of occasions. Yes, it happens, and that's England, and that's why, you know, on a number of occasions I've been asked that, what do you think? What would you do if you win the toss in England? What would you do? You know, it would be bright and sunny, and suddenly you realize that, okay, half an hour later it's cloudy and it's starting to drizzle. So what do we do? So that is England for you. You have to be prepared for all these things. Though I feel, you know, sometimes it's too harsh to lose that important point, because you know, some of the teams have suffered because of this. But that's again how the World Cup is going to be in England.
See, this is something I wanted to ask you. I mean, today New Zealand, we are not sort of complaining that much. Had we lost this point against Afghanistan, we would be up in arms. Oh, important point gone. Fans were complaining to us in Nottingham that ICC should have kept a reserve day. But it's impossible in a tournament like this. How do you keep a reserve day?
Yeah, it becomes really difficult, you know, to have a reserve day. But, you know, I think, you know, I'm glad this has happened against New Zealand, which is one of the leading sides. Not to undermine any other opposition, but where you are expected to go out and win. You know, if it happens against those teams, then it's pretty alarming.
Alarming. I mean, if there was a curtailed game, suppose there was a 20-over game, toss becomes very vital. It could have gone either way.
Yes, and that is the danger of curtailed games. You know, 20-over match, if you lose a toss, you're asked to bat, and the ball is doing a little bit up front, you lose a couple of early wickets.
In the warm-up game,
you know,
Bolt.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't want a situation like that. In a 50-over World Cup, you need 50-over match, and that becomes so critical. I feel it's sometimes it's good that it's rained off, and both the teams have walked away with a smile on their face. Yeah, because you know that's made both of us, I think New Zealand as well as us Indians, if we win a couple of games, we are kind of through.
True. Sachin, before I go into the next big game, talk about all of that, you have had injuries everywhere, okay? Hand, shoulder, knee, ankle, everywhere. I'm being told, or all of us are being told, that Shikhar Dhawan has a mild fracture. Now, I don't know what a mild fracture is. For me, a fracture is a fracture. But I want to know from you that if there is a hairline fracture, is it actually possible for someone to come back in 15 days?
Well, I have played the whole tour of New Zealand with a fractured finger. When we toured in 2009, and in the first test match, we won at Hamilton. I took a catch of their left-hander, the opening batsman, I can't get his name right now, but of Zahir in the first over. I had fractured my finger, and if you noticed, that whole tour, I had a huge padding protecting this finger, but I had broken my finger. So I played the whole tour with a broken finger, and I think players learn to deal with pain and discomfort, and I'm sure Shikhar is a fighter. He will come back fighting hard.
Excellent to hear this. So you think the Indians have taken the right call, that Rishabh Pant is coming in here but as cover, but they have not named him as replacement, but Shikhar is being given that time, the cushion to recover and come back, maybe against England?
Rightly so, because the numbers speak for himself. You know, Shikhar doesn't need to go out telling the world that this is what I have done in big tournaments, ICC tournaments. Everyone is talking about those numbers. Shikhar has to get fit, come back and deliver. And that is what the whole of India is praying for.
just to push a little bit more, with that, how long does it take to recover, and does this cold impact it, or when he comes back, does it take a few days to get into the nets? Can you just, because you've gone through this, can you explain the process a little bit more?
I think while batting, the thumb is going to jar a bit, without any doubt. But something that I'm worried about is fielding, because invariably, whichever finger is injured, the ball exactly finds that finger. And that is unfortunately going to happen here as well with Shikhar. So I'm no expert in this field. I leave that to Patrick and the rest of the medical guys to make sure that Shikhar is fit. But if he's not, then I wouldn't want to take that chance.
Yeah, that's what that. And talking about team balance,
because we are looking at Shikhar getting fit for the
business
knockout
end.
stage.
Yes.
And that is the most critical part of the tournament.
So you want 100% or nothing?
No, not 100%, but if he is able to catch the ball without much of pain, there will be a bit of pain, but without much of pain, then I would take that gamble.
Okay, and for the next few games, when we talk of team balance without him, obviously Rahul will open. And your thoughts on that, and maybe number 4 today, from what I understand, the thought was to play Vijay Shankar. Your thought on that, number 4
Rightly
position?
so for today's game, because it had rain, and if you can add a seamer who's actually a batting all-rounder, someone like Vijay Shankar, then it helps, because when it comes to opening batting with Rahul has got some runs. He's got some runs in the practice match, so he's coming back in the team with a positive mindset, and I think he should be in good space now to go out and deliver, because he knows that the next few games he's going to go out and open for India. Assurance is there, that confidence is there.
How important is that?
It is extremely important, because when you know that you're not being judged every game, then the batter starts thinking differently, and then someone of Rahul's caliber, I think, would go out and deliver. I'm backing him to deliver, and had there been a match today, I would have been possibly tempted to drop Kuldeep and pick Mohammad Shami.
That's what the thought was of the team.
Because I'm sitting here in London, but I don't know the ground conditions. But it's obvious when there are wet conditions, wet outfield, wicket being covered for a number of hours, it's going to have some moisture underneath, and that is going to help the seamer. You're not going to want your spinner to bowl with a wet season ball. With a wet seam where he is not able to grip, and he's not planning how to bowl, but he is first struggling to grip the ball and then hoping that I get to land the ball in the right spot. Much rather have your seamer around who's going to trouble the batters.
There's also a bit of concern. People are asking who better to answer. Shikhar, Rohit, left-right combination broken, Rahul. Is that an issue, or does this put more pressure on Rohit and Virat because Shikhar is not there, or you are fine with the top 3?
I think all players are meant to share pressure. There are no individuals who should take more pressure, and the rest of the guys can sit back and relax and watch them take all the load. I think in any team sport, all 11 individuals are expected to share that burden and live up to the expectations, because once you've been picked to represent India, people expect performance out of you. Yes, every day you may not be able to go out and deliver, but the expectations will always be there, and you have to learn to deal with those expectations.
Okay, now that you've mentioned pressure, the greatest game on earth in terms of cricket, because India-Pakistan, talk about playing an India-Pakistan, what does it mean? What was the pressure like?
Where are they playing?
They are playing on Sunday.
I haven't heard at all about it.
So talk to me about that. I mean, your first, I'll obviously decode the whole thing, but you're the champion. I mean, you won 3 Man of the Match awards out of 6. India 6-0 in World Cups against Pakistan. This man has won Man of the Match awards in 92, in 2003 and 2011. So it's his game in a sense. Talk to me about how you approach an India-Pakistan match, pressures of India-Pakistan.
I can tell you for sure that, in 2003, when the dates were announced, and people made their calculations, and they said, no, India plays Pakistan on 1st of March,
yeah.
Right?
Shivratri Day.
1st of March. And this conversation started literally 1st of March 2002. And we were playing on 1st of March 2003. I mean, the guys get so excited about one particular game, and the pressure builds without any doubt, because when we played that game, I remember thinking about that particular match quite some time before we got into the game, and tossing and turning in bed. If Wasim bowls from left arm over the wicket, what am I going to play, and what am I going to do to Shoaib, to Waqar? All those kind of things go on in your head. And then suddenly the 1st of March morning, you are focused, and you on your journey to the ground, you see number of fans, Indian fans, Pakistani fans, and they've all landed up with high expectations. And that kind of gets you ready for that game. And the icing on the cake is obviously the national anthem. Once you stand in the middle of the stadium with Jana Gana Mana going on, I think it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Sachin, now, I mean, when you played, this question may have been asked and you would have said, okay, it's another game. But now, is it another game, or did that pump you up more? Playing Pakistan made Sachin Tendulkar say, I've done it 100 times, but I will do it one more time. A real candid answer.
No, it's a different game without any doubt. And if someone is saying that it's just another game, yes, sometimes pre-match press conferences and all that, players want to play that low-key message and just say that it's just another game. But back of your mind, you know that it's a different game, and every run, every dot ball matters, every wicket matters, and it's different because people react to it differently. Now that I don't have to go and play again against Pakistan, I can say this, that the players would be thinking differently, but in the end you still have to go and play cricket.
True.
There is still the same cricket bat and the same cricket ball, so you have to go out what you're good at and do those things right.
So mentally, if you are getting ready for a Pakistan game, you don't need to do anything different, do you?
Mentally, it is all about absorbing pressure, because there is going to be pressure. You need to train yourself to absorb pressure, stay calm, stay in present. You don't want to straight away jump to the 40th over. When if somebody is bowling the first spell well, you need to respect that spell and see through that spell, and then later on go literally over by over. Sometimes your natural instincts take over and you move forward, and things happen automatically.
Pakistan coming into this game with one loss against Australia, one win against England, but one loss against Australia, loss against the West Indies. India goes in with 2 wins and today's game which shared points. Does this give us more momentum? Because Pakistan's lost 2, won only 1. How does a Sachin Tendulkar set up this match?
I think, when you're winning, everything is going your way. Of course, you think differently, you're a confident side. But as we would always discuss in the dressing room, when things were going exactly according to our plan, then there is a red flag around the corner. You can't afford to be complacent. You can't be overconfident. Yes, we've taken all the positives that we've achieved in the last match against Australia, packed all those confident things in the kit bag, and the kit bag has traveled with us. But the most important thing is not to be overconfident, which I'm very sure the team wouldn't be. But then the team which is winning, invariably the thought process is different. From difficult situations, you believe that you can pull it through, no matter what the situation is. And if the team is not doing well and they've lost few games, then you feel, even when you are in a good situation, good position, you feel I better not mess it up now, because if I mess it up now, I saw yesterday's match, Pakistan had some good partnerships, and there were a number of occasions where one felt that they were going to chase 308. But they lost those wickets at critical moments.
Why do you think it's not a great side? Do they not know how to win? Do they not know how to take pressure? What is sort of made the difference between Australia and Pakistan?
It's a decent side, I feel, and they were very much in the game till the end. And one felt it could be a close finish, because towards the end, if I'm not
Riyaz and
mistaken.
Sarfaraz.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Hassan Ali,
Ali,
right?
yeah.
Hassan Ali came and played some big shots, and suddenly you could see slightly worried Australian faces because one got this feeling that the match was going to go till the 50th over, and anything can happen. If they had continued to bat even 3 overs longer, each of them, it possibly may have been a different result.
Will Champions Trophy play on our minds, the final? I mean, can that happen? Big tournament? Because Pakistan keeps talking about it. I mean, every press conference, Sarfaraz insists, oh, we beat you in the Champions Trophy.
That's a positive comeback, I would say, because after having been 6-0 down.
They're still 6-0 down.
Yeah, they're still 6-0 down, but the last one that they have won, and I am reiterating that Indian team wouldn't be overconfident. Yes, we are confident, but we don't want to be in that situation where it's too late to realize, oh, we've kind of sinking and going down slowly but surely. We don't want to be in that situation, and I can fully understand the team meeting. Ravi, Virat, everyone, all senior cricketers are going to emphasize on this, that we got to be on our toes, go out and play what we are good at.
How should one deal with Mohammad Amir? 5 wickets against Australia again. Champions Trophy final, that opening spell, he killed India. So how does one deal with Mohammad Amir?
Well, yesterday when I saw his first spell, he was very accurate, consistent, though I felt Shaheen Afridi initially was on the shorter side, and when you are trying to bowl on a shorter side to Warner and Finch, it doesn't help a bowler at all, because those are their strengths, and then he was being handled the right way. The Australians know how to handle fast bowling, and on the other end you saw Mohammad Amir, who was bowling about 3 or 4 kilometers slower than this guy, but he was hitting the right areas, the right channel, and it became Finch's life was difficult, and I felt Mohammad Amir was quite effective up front.
So how does one play? Does one play him off? Sort of give him his due and play him off?
I wouldn't go in with a negative mindset of just hanging around and playing dot balls. If you're going to get deliveries in your areas where you can put away, if you get a ball which is short of length and outside off stump, I would encourage Rohit and KL Rahul to pull that ball. Or if it's a Joshi half volley, play a straight drive or off drive, or on your legs, flick him, whatever it is. Stay positive, and even if you have to leave the ball positively. It's not about survival. It's about going out there and playing a positive defense. I mean, a positive defense can also help the mindset of a batter, and that bowler can actually make out if somebody is positive, then even that solid defense or a good leave, and there is eye-to-eye contact, bowler knows that you mean business.
Sachin, I really want to understand this a little bit more. When you say the bowler knows, say for example you hit a good shot, can you talk to me about these mental battles? Because see, as viewers or as analysts from outside, it is impossible to know. You've been there, done that. Say a Rohit Sharma versus Mohammad Amir, or a Virat Kohli versus Wahab Riaz. What exactly happens? How do these players you've done it several times in the past. I remember that Chennai test match, Waqar Younis walking up to you. Can you talk to me about these mental battles and what you want the Indians to do?
Well, I think they're playing really well, so they don't need to do anything differently. We are aggressive as a batting unit or a fielding or a bowling unit. We are aggressive, attacking, and opportunist. So whenever there is an opportunity, strike. I think that is really important. And then talking about body language, I've as I mentioned to you earlier, that even if it's a solid defense, you defend the ball and you just look at the bowler. Bowler knows that you are in control. It could be a just dead defense, but it's a confident defense. But you falter, and you're going to pay a price for that.
Wahab Riaz, Mohammad Amir, Shaheen Afridi, and the spinners, Mohammad Hafiz will bowl a little bit, Shadab Khan. It's a good Hassan Ali. It's a good attack. It's a decent attack.
It's a good attack. I think it's a balanced team, and I think we need to see what the forecast is.
Forecast for Sunday is relatively good.
Yeah.
Maybe with up to 1 o'clock, the chance of precipitation is about 20%, 15%, not bad. Post that, it's about 35. So overall, it's not a bad prediction as of now.
But I'm told that the maximum temperature that we will encounter
21-22.
Was it?
Yeah,
I was
21.
under the impression maybe 18.
Yeah,
But,
I was saying 21 and 12 or something like that.
All right, so those are good, decent playing conditions, provided it's more towards 21 and not towards 12. But whatever, I think Manchester, invariably it'll be a cloudy day, and there'll be a bit of lateral movement. The pitch is hard, it has bounce, but it also assists spinners. Sometimes from the rough, spinners can get some turn. But on the whole, I feel it would be a seamer friendly track, is what I feel.
Yes, we are not in Manchester yet, but assessing the conditions like you're talking about, would you still go in with 2 spinners or 3 seamers? Or will that play in someone's mind, the captain's mind, that given conditions we might still go in with 3 seamers?
I would be tempted to go with 3 seamers. I would be tempted to bring in Mohammad Shami. He has the potential to trouble them. And the simple question I would want to just generally throw on the table is, who would they want to face? A seamer or a spinner? I think they would want to play a spinner. Don't give what they want to do.
Big point from the master. India might just go in with 3 seamers and maybe just 1 spinner. Chahal possibly ahead of Kuldeep. Will Pakistan want to play 3 seamers or will they want to play 2 spinners? Bumrah's role, I mean, if you look at the Pakistan top order, Babar Azam is the glue almost. Fakhar Zaman, yes, comes and hits the ball, but not so consistent. How does an Indian bowling attack approach this? I mean, wickets up front will be the key. How do you say, when you're playing Pakistan, how do you want the bowling attack to approach it?
I think the bowling attack, whoever is batting, you still need to bowl good lengths and good line. If you are in that channel, you stand a good chance of giving a team an early breakthrough. And I was watching the last match also. I mean, Imam ul Haq was looking good. But then again, I mean, if these conditions, if you hit the right spot with upright seam, something is going to happen off the surface. And our bowlers are quite good at that. Bumrah is sharpish and awkward, but he moves the ball as well. He's not straight. And so does Bhuvneshwar. Bhuvneshwar's strength is swinging the ball both ways, and I think he's in these conditions he can become a handy customer.
Mohammad Shami also moves.
And Mohammad Shami is kiddier than what you expect, and his approach, his run up towards the stump is just brilliant, magnificent to watch when he's in full rhythm, and then he hits the bat much harder than you expect.
And everyone's talking about Virat Kohli in this game. It was like Sachin Tendulkar versus Pakistan. Everyone wanted you to do well. You won many a game against Pakistan for us. Virat Kohli 100, in the 2015 World Cup.
Yeah.
So and led from the front, almost the baton passed from you to him. Virat Kohli will want to do well in this game for sure. I mean, can you talk to me? His captain is the best batsman in the team. What goes through? I mean, again, you've been there, done that.
Well, knowing Virat for such a long time, I know that he doesn't want to do well just against Pakistan in this particular match, but he wants to continue with that form throughout the tournament, because it's no good if you've done exceedingly well here and then nobody knows where you are. And Virat is not among those guys. He would want to make a statement throughout the tournament, and that is how it should be. And Pakistan happens to be another match in this tournament which we have to win, but going along the way to the semis and hopefully to the finals.
You're protecting Virat here. It's Pakistan.
No, he has to go out and score runs against whoever. I mean, we play Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, whoever. Batters are meant to go out and score runs.
But like everybody told you, you've got to win this one. This is the final before the final.
Yes, those are the things which are for outsiders. For players, we have to go and win every match.
You know, I've got to take a break. I'll ask one more question of the master before taking a break and coming back. Is Pakistan one here, in the heart, in the mind, or is it right out there? How much of it is mental, and to take it over, you know, on the field? Because I remember you said you hadn't eaten in the 2011 World Cup semi-final. You said to the players, you're hungry, go out there, take some wickets, score some runs against Pakistan, and your hunger will go. So that's mental. You charge them up.
Because I remember both the prime ministers were there, and the security was really tight, and the food hadn't reached the dressing room, and our normal routine was...
And you hadn't also had breakfast?
Yeah, I mean, our normal routine was, I wake up leisurely. I'm not an early riser during day-night matches. So the body clock was set accordingly. And I'd hardly had some snack before I got to the ground. I thought I would have an early lunch, nice lunch, and then go out, warm up. By then the food has digested and I'm ready to go out and play. But the food hadn't reached due to security reasons, and the whole team was only talking about that. And that's when I said कि इतनी भूख लगी है तो runs बनाओ और wickets निकालो. No, I don't want anyone talking about food नहीं आया है, खाना नहीं आया है तो क्या करेंगे and all that. I don't want all that going on in our warm-up session. Guys, all that is behind us. The whole country, all the well-wishers of Indian cricket across the globe are expecting us to do something special. Let's go out and express ourselves.
I don't think there'd be any better time to take a break. I need to digest a couple of these statements. No better time. Go out there. The whole world, he says, expects us to do something special. Absolutely. The same expectation will be from Virat Kohli and his boys come Sunday. We are building up to the massive match. The match that all of India, all of the cricketing world wants to watch. India v Pakistan, and somebody who has always played his best cricket. 98 of 78 in Centurion, 85 in 2011, 54 not out, and that wicket 10 overs 37-1 in that 92 World Cup 3 Man of the Match awards. Sachin Tendulkar analysing it for us. Why is it that you were always so good against Pakistan? You were good against everybody, but yeah, actually,
okay.
3 World Man of the Matches doesn't happen. 6 games, 3 Man of the Match awards. How is it possible?
Don't
tell
know.
me it was another.
Honestly, I don't know. I've just gone out and given my best, and then that is how it's meant to be. I've always believed that once you're on a cricket field, no matter which match and for which team you're playing, you always go out and give your best. And of course, when it comes to representing India, it's the greatest honor. I've always felt, wow, this was my dream and now I'm actually getting to live my dream. What can be bigger than this? The only something which is bigger than that is you're representing for India and you have that beautiful trophy in your hands, and when they announce Indian team is the world champion team in the world.
2003, Pakistan had scored 273. You all had planned it differently. You took first strike, which wasn't the plan. But then again, you said first spell we'll play it off, 4 overs, 50 runs. You all even started sledging. Tell us, does these things sort of happen naturally? And you've often said this, and because it was Pakistan, you started speaking in Hindi.
But I was never sledging. I was just trying to explain to them what this is and that is, whatever.
Tell us, please.
No, when I was in the dressing room and we were walking down, Viru kept telling me that, Paji, aap strike le lo aaj. It's better. I kept telling him, Viru, I'm slightly superstitious. I'll stick to number 2 at the non-strikers end. Slightly superstitious. But in my mind, I was, I had prepared myself that I'm going to play the first ball. Wasim was bowling, and I felt if Viru is, there are times when, we tell each other, aaj tu strike lena. So we do that, though I was slightly superstitious, so I preferred to be at the non-strikers end. But that afternoon, I didn't say anything to Viru till the last moment. And when we had crossed 30-yard circle, I started walking forward and just looked at Viru like that. No, actually it's happening. I said, yes, I'll face the first ball. And I went and I faced the first ball. But normally I would play the
Yeah,
second ball.
but then what you did after that, Shoaib Akhtar here over third man, Shoaib Akhtar flick straight.
See, the plan was to see off first 8-10 overs, because we knew that with Wasim, Waqar and Shoaib, they were going to run hard and they were going to go full throttle, firing all cylinders and get early breakthroughs, because with that kind of attack, what they need to do is go out and get early wickets when they know that somebody is chasing 274. Those days, 270 was
a long,
big total. And possibly the best bowling attack in that tournament. The plan was to just hang around initially, first burst, and then deal with them in boundaries. But sometimes you plan so many things, but there you got to just go with the flow. And the moment I connected that back foot drive of the first over of Wasim, if I'm not mistaken, second or third ball, I said, oh, this sounds great. And that sound, conveys a strong message to you. And that is confidence to me. Sound has its own language. And I told Viru, ball must aa raha hai bat pe. Just stay in line and hit. And the second over was a big one. Shoaib started bowling. We scored a lot of runs of that over. Yeah, and suddenly we saw that change in body language.
So you expect...
And that's when Viru and we started talking to each other loudly, so that even the bowlers could hear, the fielders could hear. And those are all mind games where...
You can't say that on television, what you said.
No, I wouldn't want to say here, but those are all mind games, because then you are kind of putting pressure on them. And when they are down, you want to,
So you want this team to do that as well?
Yeah, I think, but it's not about verbal battle. I think really important is if you're aggressive and are in control, then the results follow. But if you get aggressive and not in control, then the results invariably go in opposition's favor. So I would want to have that balance, of being aggressive, but just about where it brings the best out of you and you're in control.
Sachin, this is something I always wanted to ask. I mean, Pakistan, may not be that things are going your way. Maybe if Pakistan is bowling first, Mohammad Amir has picked a couple of wickets. Yes. Pakistan is on top. Or if India is bowling, Pakistan, Fakhar Zaman and Imam have gotten off to a good start, or Babar Azam is playing well. The match is somewhat going away from. What does the captain do in such situations to pull a match like this back? High pressure, crowd, chanting, cheering against you also, even Stevens in terms of the blue and green. How do you bring a match back?
I think this simple thing as a captain you have to do is you got to find which are the toughest options for the batters to play those shots. If it is a cover drive, which is a tough shot to play, then you leave that area open, encourage them to play those shots where you have a chance of picking a wicket. It could be a short ball, I saw Babar Azam was batting really well in the last match, and he played a hook shot which took the top edge and went straight to fine leg. So, you need to understand which are the shots they wouldn't want to play and encourage them to play those shots. It's as simple as that.
We've beaten Pakistan fairly comfortably in the Asia Cup. India looked a better side. If it's a full game, a 50 over game, you think we are a better side?
Oh, at this stage, 100% we are a better side. And the way we've been performing for a number of months now, and then a number of months, I mean to say, good 25, 30 months, we've been right at the top, and I think that momentum we've carried through all the way. We were number one side and currently number two. So we have played good cricket for a long time now. And we've carried that confidence into this tournament now. I think we are a better side, without any doubt.
And in games like this, there are certain players, in your case, there were certain players who lift themselves. Do you see someone like a Hardik Pandya do that? Because he looks the guy who in an occasion wants to embrace the occasion, wants to make it. In an interview to ICC, he said, 14th July, he wants to hold that World Cup. That's his life's dream. Yes, everyone wants to, but he looks to be that kind of a guy who wants to sort of be there and do it for India.
every person has his own style of expressing himself. So I think Hardik is more vocal. Maybe Cheteshwar Pujara isn't, but that doesn't mean Cheteshwar Pujara doesn't want to do well for India. So we have our own ways of expressing ourselves.
But in a game like this, I mean, this game, for example, if I ask you who are India's key players or who are Pakistan's key players,
I think every individual is representing India. I wouldn't want to single out someone and say, okay, these are the key players. You need performance from everyone. You never know on that given day who's going to go out and score runs for you, or who's going to go out and get those 5 wickets for us.
okay, someone like an MS Dhoni. I mean, behind the stumps, with all that experience, Virat will be fielding in the outfield. How important is that? Experience in a game like this, the combination of MS Dhoni and Virat Kohli.
And that's why I said earlier that it is all about being able to absorb pressure, to judge what's happening and take a balanced view on how much to attack and when to attack and how to attack. And I think MS is really good at that, because by nature he is a calm person. He doesn't speak
Compliments
much.
Virat.
And yeah, I mean, and he is in the best position. He is standing right behind the wickets. He understands whether the pitch is seaming or it's slow or it has a spongy bounce or it's skidding through. Whatever is happening, MS is seeing exactly the way it is, and the gaps which the batters are seeing, MS is also seeing those gaps.
Sachin, would you bat MS at 4?
No, I would stick to MS at number 5.
So who bats 4 for you? In this game, Vijay Shankar has not had a good one game in the warm-up, or is it Dinesh Karthik because of experience?
I think I would go with Vijay Shankar at this stage. Yes, Dinesh Karthik has experience, but if we have to get someone to bat at number 4, then I'm going to try and look at Vijay Shankar at this stage.
Because he gives you the bowling option also?
He does, of course.
Okay, the last few questions before I close this show. One, you know, Rohit Sharma, he's won us the Asia Cup as captain, started very well in this competition, in really good nick. How important is Rohit Sharma's role and Virat Kohli's role, captain, vice captain, to lead from the front in a game like this? Because Pakistan will come hard. Amir will come hard. Wahab will come hard. They want those 2 wickets to push India back.
And if you look at our balance, these are the 2 more experienced players. Rahul has been around for a while, and of course then MS is someone who's played the most among them all, and Kedar has played a little bit, but eventually it would be Rohit and Virat. They would be focusing on these 2 wickets without any doubt. Up front, if Pakistan can get Virat and Rohit, then that is what their game plan would be. Yeah, I mean, it opens the game. And of course, I mean, if you look at Virat's thinking and Rohit's thinking, they would also be looking at playing a long innings, which would tilt the match in our favor.
You know, the reason I asked you was, when you were asked to bat at 4, your answer was, why are you saying bat at 4? Then I batted 11. You are protecting me. I would much rather go open and dictate terms and control the game. Is that same thought in the minds of champions like, you know, you, Virat, Rohit?
Because when the talks were going on that I should bat number 4, I felt somewhere there was this negative thought process that I could get out up front. And that's the reason I said, then why don't you keep me at number 11? Everyone would think that Sachin hai mere piche. The game is not played that way. And I feel I'm going to go and score runs. I'm not going there to get out. I'm going there to score runs and do something special for India. Why are you guys thinking that I'm going to get out? And we changed our thinking. This happened in 2003, where fortunately I felt I opened the innings from the first match of the tournament. John came to me and John said, wherever you want to bat, the team is going to play around you. And my response to John was, wherever the team wants me to bat, I will bat. But I feel, from my personal point of view, I feel I can contribute much more to the team if I go up front and tackle the bowling. But that didn't happen in 2007.
Yeah,
I had said the same thing in 2007. It didn't happen, but it's behind us. I mean,
but in this team, the Sachin Tendulkar prototype is Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli?
Well, I don't like comparing.
No, I'm not. But that role,
and
the experience.
The role, of course. I mean, Rohit. The expectations are much more from Rohit. He's in good form. Virat has got runs. So these two guys are the leading guys, and the rest of the guys will have to play around them. But these two guys will be the leading guys.
Okay,
who
last.
Absorb more pressure.
Last question, Sachin. Who's winning?
Of course, India. Of course. Come on.
7-0? 6-0. You have done 3 out of 6.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, says the master, but very confident, hopefully. He says 7-0 with an of course. And you know what? Who will analyze that game for you when it becomes 7-0? Sachin Tendulkar. The first time on news television, Sachin in this World Cup, making it that much more special for every viewer watching this broadcast. Thank you very much. Cold London.
It is freezing.
It is freezing, but the kind of words, the kind of analysis, only he can. The moment you hear, you will feel a sense of warmth, of passion, of commitment, and that flavor that Sachin brought with his cricket. That's why he's Sachin Tendulkar. Keep watching World Cup on India Today.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.